connoisseur of pop art.
Hey, James, 35, Boston.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Not much. I just wanted to see what you thought about the Anthony Cumia firing from the Opie and Anthony show on Sirius XM.
Yeah, some people have been tweeting me about that. So what was the story?
Basically, he got attacked by a black woman who appeared to be a streetwalker in Times Square. He was taking some pictures, and she just started punching him. And then he responded with some tweets that were, I guess they could be considered racially insensitive. But basically, he was like, you know, this person's an animal. She's trying to attack me, and, you know, I'm just trying to take a picture. Right. And honestly, he said much worse, you know, on his radio show. Sure. And hasn't gotten fired. So I'm just curious as to, you know, what you think about that and, like, the implications of free speech of people getting fired for, you know, what they post on their Twitter feed, and especially if it's not even as bad as what they say on their radio show. Well,
it's an interesting line, which is now you used to get fired for what you did on the air by your boss who owns the air.
The good old days.
Yeah. I mean, it's their satellite, and when you talk into their microphone in their building and it's pumped through their satellite, then they get to fire you, whatever you may say. Now there's a new thing going on, which is you can go say things that don't have anything to do with them, and then they fire you. Now, I don't know that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it is a weird thing that we couldn't have predicted a few years ago, right? And it would have been sort of the equivalent to you having a conversation or you saying something in your stand-up routine that would get you fired from your radio gig or your sitcom the following season. It's a whole... Exactly. It's weird. The thing I'll tell you the thing that I find bizarre. It is difficult to watch, for instance, I don't know if you guys have, like, for instance, turned on MTV in a while, but we were just watching a little Catfish the other day, and you can't watch MTV with your kids because the commercials are so graphic. All these like teen zombie things and stuff, even the commercials for all the horror movies that are out there, they're fucking as scary as the movie is. I mean, they're super intense, and they're like it's 7 at night. So there's so in the graphic. I mean, I'll give you a. When I started out in radio, you couldn't say I'm pissed off, or you couldn't say God damn it. You couldn't say pissed off. You couldn't say a million things. You could say, you might be able to say I'm pissed, but you couldn't say I was taking a piss or I pissed on that guy's foot. Yeah. It's just like there's a million and 10 rules. Now, when we were watching MTV, and they were showing like their Clips video show, and the guy was vomiting and like milk was coming out of his nose and stuff. It's like you literally had to hold your fucking hand up to avoid it. Like it was repugnant. Pussy. When we did the first season of Man Show, guy ate a cube of butter and he vomited, and we literally had to cover up the vomit. Not MTV, Comedy Central could not show at 10:30 at night a guy vomit on. Now,
same parent company, that's worth pointing out.
The guys, you can see guys vomiting on prime time. Like no problemo at all. If you're watching the world's biggest loser or the biggest loser, and you show the guy, you know, running on the treadmill, he yaks. Like they just show it. So it is game on in the grotesque department and all the other department, but anything to do with race is we've gotten super sensitive and super insane about it. I wish it was more. Here's what I wish with all this stuff. I wish the people that were doing the disciplining actually meant it. I wish they cared about black folk. Or the folks that are complaining about the Redskins cared about Native American. First off, I wish there was a little more sincere. You know what I mean? It's not. You get the feeling they're just doing whatever they have to do.
They're covering their interests.
Yeah, they're covering their interest. I wish they went, you know what, I'm going to go down to the Mohican Sun and give out some leaflets on diabetes.
It's very noble.
Thank you. No, I wish you would actually do one of those rubber hits the road things when it comes to the people you claim to care about, instead of just disciplining somebody so that it could be known that you were the guys that were tough on guys that were hard on whatever minority it was, even if you don't give a fuck. And I'm assuming they don't give a fuck, because I have not met many people who actually do in those positions. I don't think it's a good thing or a step toward the light that people essentially are able to fire people from things they do outside of the office, so to speak. On the other hand, here's the dealio, everybody who's listening. When you leave it to the judges, you can get bad hometown calls. And that's why I always say, don't leave it to the judges.
Is this a leaving it to the judges situation, though?
This is, you have a boss.
Oh.
Your boss could be CBS Radio. Your boss could be Infinity, or it could be Sirius XM. It could be whatever, whoever, NBC, whoever, your Coors,
right.
Whoever your GM. You have a boss. And when you have a boss, it's right in the title. They're the boss. And if they catch you doing something they don't like, or it's going to make them look bad or make the company look bad or whatever it is, they can shit-can your ass. Chris Rock can't be shit-canned.
Right.
He forged a career for himself. Jerry Seinfeld can't be shit-canned at this point in his career. I can't be shit-canned. I can be shit-canned by Spike, but not from this. And the problem with having a boss, and it's a problem with, which is, you're there because your personality, and you're there because you speak your mind, and you're there because you incite people and conversation, and you mix it up. And nobody wants Mr. Melba Toast on the air. Nobody wants Mr. Middle of the Road on the air. You're there because you're fiery, you're controversial, you're whatever. That's what radio and that's what broadcasters are. They're not supposed to just go, it's you're there because you have an opinion. You have strong opinions.
Because you don't censor yourself as well.
Well, I think all the people we end up, let's just look at it this way. Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor, Howard Stern,
Adam Carolla,
Lenny Bruce. I think the reason we like them is because they didn't censor themselves, right? I mean, we kind of got what we got from them, and the reason they've gone down and whatever their place in history is because they weren't censoring themselves.
Oh, and Howard Stern's, and Bill Hicks and all these guys in their cases, they railed against even the censorship. They fought against it. That was the rub in their act.
Right. So I feel bad that Anthony got shit canned. I hate this world that we've created where everyone just shit cans everyone for everything. I think there's a way that we can disagree with what he said or the language that he used, but still make that his choice, his words, and his experience, and move on from it. I don't like this thing where it's like, well, we don't like you because you said this and used those words, and now you must be relieved of your livelihood.
Yeah, it's on his permanent record. If people like it or like him or his fans or whatever, then it's just part of who he is and what he does.
Right. Either way, we have built a pirate ship here, and we can never be fired. So that's the good news. Secondly, it is scary to me when the people who go off to become the alternative, the Sirius XM satellite, hey, this is our uncensored world. I mean, that was part of the sell.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We get to say fuck. We can say cunt. We can say what we want. We don't have to worry about the FCC. It's weird when the people who break off to fight against the man become the man.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like Sirius XM has become the man.
When's that happening for us?
Adam already is the man.
That's a good point.
I need you to see. I was going to say I need to see you in my office, but I don't have an office.
But if you had an office,
I'd
need to see seen.
I need to see you in Matt's office, which could be my office
Or the bathroom.
Yes.
You think Sirius XM was looking for an excuse? Is this one of those things where, because like James said, he's done and said worse things on the air. Were they just looking for an excuse?
I can tell you, as I've said many times, Duck Dynasty, when you're getting 8.3 million viewers a week, you can say what you want. You'll be disciplined, but they'll not cut you loose. Alec Baldwin, when you're doing 200,000 viewers a week, you get out of line with a photog, it's time to push you down the road.
It can be an excuse.
I don't know how Opie and Anthony are doing. All I can say is this. There's not such a thing, in my experience, is LeBron James at his prime, Kobe Bryant at his prime, or you pick the athlete in their prime and the team cutting them in their prime when they've done something off the field.
Kobe's a bad example because he had the fair and then all the sponsors dropped him.
The team.
Yeah, you're right.
The sponsors will always drop you, but as long as he's averaging 31 points,
Aaron Hernandez.
the team, if you told the Pats,
It's pretty rare.
I don't think it exists. If you told the Pats, Aaron Hernandez can play on Sunday, we'll parole him on Sunday to play, he would suit up.
I feel, Gary would have to look this up. I feel like they cut him while he was being investigated. But your point is...
But here's what I think.
Right.
I think they knew much more than we knew way before we knew it. Part of it, it's their job.
Sure.
Secondly, they're seeing the Crips tattoo on his great set of hands he has. So, or whatever it is. I get the feeling they know it. I'm just saying, when you are doing gangbuster in the business department, you usually don't get clipped. I don't know if that's what's going on with Opie and Anthony. I assume it's, somewhere in the middle. The truth's always somewhere in the middle. And listen, I don't know what the future is for those guys. Hopefully I can come on here and talk about it. And it is a sad state of affairs that now Sirius and XM have become the man. But once again, you build the pirate ship, you don't have to worry about the man. James?
Absolutely. Can we just help? We're just trying to help build support for the cause, and just the hashtag stand with Ant, and we're just trying to get that trending on Twitter.
Okay. Well, you have our support.
All right. Thanks a lot, Adam. I appreciate it. Love the show, and have a great night, buddy.
Thanks, James. Yeah. I think what there needs to be is
more talk about this in the news segment?
Yes. And a pushback. I mean, I think it's time, like I said, we just, again, something's happened, and it's happening really fast, and it's getting kind of scary, and there's a new kind of it's a weird thing. It's a kind of McCarthyism, but it's a reverse McCarthyism. It's a politically incorrect McCarthyism. It's weird, but it feels the same. If it's got a lynch mob mentality to it, these people are saying things. It's like, it's like Jonah Hill got into trouble, called the photographer a fag or something like that, or I can't remember, told him to suck his dick or something like that. But the guy was harassing him and telling me he looked cute in those shorts or like whatever it was, and he shot something off, and now he has to go on an apology tour, and this Jonah Hill pose a threat. What's he talking about? And the guy was making sexually sort of overt comments about his looking good and wearing his tight shorts or like whatever it was. I'm just saying, does everybody, when you're walking down the sidewalk and somebody's shoving you with their camera, are you not allowed to fucking yell something horrible at them anymore? Do we think everyone means it? Are we worried about, does Jonah Hill go down,
No, it gets to a point where we're just policing each other, but we don't care.
Nobody cares. Nobody's worried about Jonah.
Just pointing fingers.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Ed Asner and his son are out there. We'll bring them in